All right, in this video, I want to talk about local SEO for roofers. And I want to go through some examples and just do some analysis on what works for roofers and how to do a good job at doing SEO for roofing companies. So let's pop over to the place we can start and let's look at a moderate city. Let's go to Phoenix. Roofing. Let's try that. Okay, well, let's actually go to Phoenix then. Let's see if that'll give us some more information. So let's just try roofing and search this area. Okay. All right. So the first interesting thing that we can see here is that every single top roofing company here in this area has over 100 and even over 500 for the top ones here reviews. They all include the word roofing in their name for my search roofing, right? And they all are under the primary category of roofing contractor. So I've found this a lot with roofing. I know a lot of companies do a lot of different things, but with roofing specifically, I've found that if you try to do roofing as a secondary category, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to rank. There are just too many roofing contractors, and Google seems to consider a roofing contractor a unique enough business that if you want to go for roofing or roofing related search terms, you need to be in the roofing contractor category. And even then, you probably want roofing in your name, as we can see here. Now let's see if we try something like roofers. We still see that we get roofing. I don't know how many people. Here's one that uses roofers. So it's an interesting thing to look into, but it's good to know your search terms. What are you targeting? And then for instance, roofing contractor is the actual category. And I think it's a pretty broad search. You can see here the second guy actually has roofing contractors in his name, right? So when picking a name, it's good to kind of understand what terms you're going for and maybe including that kind of a term like roofing contractors will be helpful. Where's this precision? So there they are. So, all right, with that, it kind of gives us an idea. Now, the other thing that's interesting is these top two guys, as far as the Phoenix area is concerned, they look like they're pretty close to the middle, right? If maybe this is the middle here of Phoenix, they're all within this Phoenix area. Actually, I wonder if they're even, let's see what their address is. They're not even I'm not searching for Phoenix roofing. That's my bad. So these guys are in Mesa. And which doesn't matter unless I'm going to search for Phoenix. Let's do that. Now let's see what comes up. So now you can see that kind of shifted me to everything with a Phoenix address. I assume these guys have a Phoenix address, right? So once again, something to understand. A lot of people like to search with the city name, or that is a big search. So if you're not located in the city that you want to get business from, you might have trouble. Here we can see these are all Phoenix addresses. You saw that what that did to the search. It basically took everything out that didn't have a Phoenix address. So that's really helpful to understand that you probably want to have roofing at some level in your name. You want to have a lot of reviews. And look at this. These guys only have 28 reviews. Why are they doing so well? Because they are called Phoenix Roofing, my exact search. So that just kind of gives you, it's more like insights. None of this is always going to happen, but for the most part, having the keyword people are searching in your name, like these guys are Phoenix Roofing and Repair. So Phoenix Roofing is in their name. And then the guys that are just called Phoenix Roofing, they show up, even though they only have 28 reviews. So reviews, name, city, especially when you know, a lot of people are going to be searching for your city. These are really, really important. So now let's grab these top 3 results and look at them a little bit. So I always like to look at the cover photo that people are using. So this is interesting, right? A person is working, obviously, or I can assume on a roof, and the name of the company's on the back. I think the action images are really good. These are really some pretty good images. I like this image because the roof looks really nice despite the work area, right? This looks cool. It's got these like oranges coming out of it. Action. I think action photos always do a good job at showing people, you know, work you're working. Here's them in the community. Oh, that's always really good. So I like these. I think these are good photos. Let's see here. These guys are a shingle based. That's you know, that's pretty nice. I mean, so I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And this, you know, I don't love it. I really like this. I think that's pretty good. So with that, let's just kind of pop through and see if there's anything these guys are doing that's different or that kind of sticks out. So you can see their domain is Phoenix Roofing and Repair. That's nice. It matches exactly their name, but it also has the keywords in it. They're in a Phoenix address. You can see they're making Google business posts, or this is a Google business post that they have up. They have at least photos that have been put up within the last 26 days. So in the last month, that's not bad. I don't know if they're getting, yeah, they got a new review, right? Oh, a day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Oh, yeah. So they're getting a good volume of reviews, right? That's really interesting and important. And so, yeah, they're just, you know, they're generally keeping up on their a 4.9 rating. That's really strong, right? Let's pop over to their website and look at this. So first of all, I think this is this is pretty engaging. I hate this pop-up. It's not going away from me. But beyond that, most annoying thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's see if it goes away. Huh. Wow. That is freaking annoying. All right. Besides that thing not going away, I would say this is really pretty engaging. I can't literally get over here. They have the phone number at the top. You got some good pages. This all sticks out really well, right? I really like this logo. They actually have their number, their business contractor license here. This trusted Phoenix, this looks really nice. You got a free estimate here and then another call button. That's pretty good. So I think as a engaging a video, that's great. Some testimonials. They have these city pages. Look, you can tell these link to other cities, to their other locations. That's quite interesting. Another video, some frequently asked questions. These are like all of the things I would tell you to put. They have their address in the footer. That's strong. I would probably put my Google business profile here in the footer, but if they have multiple locations, it might be difficult. They have look, this I think contains a lot of the best elements that you should be looking at on your website. And let me jump over to my other browser. Maybe I can get rid of that stupid thing on here. Nope. So we can see here's their title, Phoenix Roofing and Repair, which that's great because it does a double task. If your name does both tasks of being a keyword and at the same time being your name, ooh, that's really nice. Top roofing company in Phoenix. I like that. Phoenix Roofing and Repair right at the front of the description again. And it's a nice little description. We like the URL. Let's look at the headings. H1, trusted local Phoenix roofing experts. H2, 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 H. So I don't love the overuse of the H2s, but I think that H1 is strong. It has Phoenix roofing in the name, right? And then it drops to these H2s. So they only have one H1. I think that's pretty smart. That's kind of what matters the most, I think. So yeah, maybe some work to be done on the headers and just redoing how your headers are. It's really hard for me when the biggest text on the page isn't the H1. I think it's a little hard for Google. I think it also kind of throws Google off that your H1 is this smaller text and then your H2 is here. I would probably redo this. I don't like these top headers anymore. I think they just end up being more annoying than they are helpful. Maybe just moving this below the whatever. It's ticky tacky. Obviously it's working. Here we have some contact. If it's working in spite of this form not going away, then good for you. So I assume this is having a big negative impact. If they fixed this, they would probably increase the number of people that are calling their business. So now let's check out their SEMrush real quick. I want to jump into their authority score. So it's a 24. We can see that they've been growing their organic traffic pretty well over the last year, up to 4,400 a day it estimates. You can see roofing contractors in Phoenix, they are ranking 4, which has a lot of search volume. Roofing companies in Phoenix, this means they're ranking on the map. We can go down and just kind of see they have a lot of non-branded terms. I wonder what that's all about. Oh, that's just where that's not what they're linking from. So I think that's a solid authority score. That's a really good amount of traffic. We can tell they're getting a lot of traffic. And let's just look at their backlinks number really quick. I want to see what that looks like. Backlinks. Where are we at here? Keep moving things around on me. Okay, let's use this one, I guess. I want to look at the number of referring domains. That's what I want to really understand. We have 199 referring domains. And if I say how many total referring domains, right here. So you can see they've done a massive push over this last year to grow their local SEO through these referring domains. We can see how important those are. If we go down here, I can see this. So they have some really high authority domains, right? They have these, but look at all these higher authority, 61, 50s, 40s, 30s, even the 20s. These are like really high quality links, especially when you get up to this tier. So they have been building some really, really strong links over the last year, and it shows, right? So it's interesting, right? We can see the referring domains. We can see how that has gone up, and then we can see how much their traffic has gone up, basically in lockstep with that, with the referring domains. So, anybody tells you that link building is dead, it is not. And then we have their business profile, right? Which is, they're keeping up to date on it. They're getting reviews. They have a high number of reviews. They have a really strong name, and they're crushing it. If you have a strong name and all of the assets to back it up, like a domain and the domain name and your links and your reviews and the number of reviews and new reviews, that is hard to beat. That is hard to beat, but it does take some strategy. So hopefully this can really help you understand more just deeper about SEO, I want to keep doing these analysis videos. I like doing it. I think it's good for me. I love looking at these sites and just kind of diving into what they're doing. But I think those are the elements, right? That gives you a really good picture of if you want to rank number one, this is how we do it. Okay. How much are they spending a month? My guess, 5K to 10K on SEO. That sounds crazy, but that's one job for them. And they're getting 4,000 visits a month, right? So yeah, what are they doing? 100 jobs a month? You know, they're getting a review every day, even at 30. And I usually go by a rule of 30%. If they're getting 30 reviews a month, they're probably doing at least 100 jobs to get 30 reviews. So 100 jobs. Is it worth it to spend one or two of your profit for 2 jobs, 5 jobs, 10 jobs, 10%? But they're probably getting jobs from other places, right? So that's why I estimate they're probably putting in 5 to 10K into SEO, and then they're probably putting 5 to 10K into ads would be my guess. Maybe more, but you can see how that has worked out for them over the long run. So that's my analysis here of a roofing company and how you can do roofing SEO, right? And the elements that you need to do to have to rank number one for your search for roofing. We'll see you later.